Welcome back to Mt Rainier, Maryland, the site of our SYMBI Duplex 1 demonstration project. My name is Nigel Maynard, Editor-in-Chief of Custom Builder Magazine and Products. Preventing future moisture issues in this high-performance building is important to the builders Matt and Nicole. That's why they're using weatherization products from Benjamin Obdyke. Today we check in on the installation of Slicker Max under the fiber cement siding and InvisiWrap UV and Batten UV under the wood cladding on the bay window. So Matt, why are you guys using Slicker Max at SYMBI?
Well, at SYMBI Homes, one of our main goals is sustainability and longevity of the house. And is what the Slicker Max rain screen will do for us is give us a longer lifespan of our siding by keeping the backside dry.
And so that improves how long the building lasts because you wanted it to get in and get out as fast as possible.
Yes, it will keep the siding nice and dry, and which helps with the expansion of the siding and also with the longevity.
Okay, so I see it's a two-part system where there's a mesh and then there's this filter fabric on the front. So what's the purpose and how does it work?
The mesh on the backside is designed to hold the siding off of the subsiding of the house, and that gives us a small air space. And also, if we were to get some water behind the siding, it will also migrate out.
So I noticed that with this, there's sort of like a 3/8 inch space that it creates. What's the benefit of that?
What it does is when the siding is nailed flat to the house wrap, it doesn't allow for any air to get behind the siding. So if any moisture, if it sweats when the sun hits it or in high humidity, it's difficult for the siding to dry out on the backside.
Right.
So what the Slicker Max does is it keeps that siding off of the water resistant barrier just long enough, or just enough so we can get some air back there and that the water doesn't stay against the back of the siding.
Now with rain screens, one of the drawbacks for some people anyway is that bugs can get up in between that little airspace. So what is this piece of fabric here for?
Well, that is going to stop our bugs from getting up in top, so up into the rain screen. So the Slicker Max has a very convenient overlap at the bottom. So on our starter strip, we fold this over so that this creates a bug screen for us.
Ah, okay.
And it still allows the air to go through. So we'll have a small air gap at the bottom of the siding, and then when we get to the top, we're going to leave a very small gap at the top so that that convection can travel all the way through and dry out our siding.
Okay. And in this case, you're using fiber cement, and so it can dry to the back, right?
Yes, fiber cement is a very good product, but it will absorb water over time. It's cementitious, so it's very important to keep the backside dry.
Right.
So,
okay.
And that makes our siding last.
And how do you install it?
This is very easy to install. This is the top and the bottom. The bottom has the overhang, so when you get to your next row, you have a nice screen right here to keep, bugs and things from getting inside there. And it's very easy. You tack it up with a stapler, hammer stapler, and it doesn't take much. Once you start nailing your siding up, that's what actually holds it in place.
Okay.
So you just have a few staples to hold it where you want it while you're installing your siding.
So here we're looking at a strange setup that most people probably haven't seen. What is this?
So this is going to be an open clad siding. So we want a black background, something that you're not going to see behind it. So we're using the Benjamin Obdyke InvisiWrap, and that's a UV protected water resistant barrier that is going to allow us to have gaps in our siding so that we have a nice rain screen behind it.
Okay. And so this is another part of the system, which is the furring strips. and I think this is called the Batten UV.
Yeah, so these are called the Benjamin Obdyke Batten UV.
Okay.
They're also protected from UV damage, and they are going to hold our siding off of the building envelope about 3/8 of an inch.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, the system works that you first install the InvisiWrap, and you put on the furring strips, and then the wood siding goes up after and creates an airspace.
Correct.
So what's the benefit of having an airspace on the bay window?
Well, it's very beneficial in keeping the envelope of the house dry. It'll dry very quickly, and it's also architecturally pleasing look.
Okay. So when you're installing the InvisiWrap, do you install it like you would your typical house wraps?
Yeah, so on this particular house, we're using the flat wrap is our water resistive barrier. So this we're putting on top of our water resistive barrier, so it's a little more forgiving at this point. But this can be used as a water resistive barrier and would be taped and shingled like you would any. Yeah.
Okay, because I see you have some tape up here. And so you just do a shingling effect going all the way up, and then you install your furring strips, and then the siding gets installed on top of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now I noticed the furring strips have these little holes on the side. What would you do with those?
And so we tape this so you don't see the holes when you're looking at it. So we'll tape the end of the battens on the corners so we're not looking into the holes.
Okay.
And we tape the seams because if they end up at a point in the gap, you'll see the little differences in them.
Okay. So how thick are the spaces going to be in between the siding?
We're using a true 4-inch wood with a 3/4 inch gap. So we'll have a 4 and a 3/4.
And so now from the street, when people look in, instead of seeing, wood or something white, they'll just see the black part of the InvisiWrap.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. Okay, thanks.